Mojo, CallTools, ZenCall, Google Voice, Batch Dialer. Which cold calling dialer is the best for your real estate wholesaling business? In today's video, I'm going to break down all of these dialers out there, and I'm really going to show you the pros and the cons, the cost for them all, and really what's the best bang for your buck and which dialer you should use depending on your experience and budget for your real estate wholesaling business. Now, I am not a rookie when it comes to cold calling dialers, and I've been cold calling in real estate wholesaling for over 4 years. I've been through it all. From the age of 18 to 19, when I was a student in my dorm room, I used to actually cold call from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. 5 days a week for an entire year straight. And I made 6 figures in a year in college, wholesaling real estate from my dorm room, doing that cold calling method. And I'm telling you, I've been through every single dialer out there possible. And again, in this video, I'm really going to break down all of them. When I started out, some of these dialers weren't even a thing, and I never got to test them out until the past couple months. So really, I've been spending the past couple months really researching all the dialers. I've had some of my friends actually give me passwords so I can test them out. And really, I'm here to give you my final verdict on all of them. So in this video, guys, so if you're a cold caller in real estate wholesaling, you need to be watching this video. So before I get into it, before I actually break down everything for you, you already know you need to smash that like button and subscribe. So let's get into it. In this video, I'm really going to review the top 5 most used cold calling dialers for real estate wholesaling. I know there's more than 5, but really these are the 5 most popular and the 5 most used dialers. If you're in any real estate wholesaling Facebook group, if you ask what dialer they use or which one's the best dialer, it's going to be one of these 5 things. So really, I'm going to break it down and show you the cost. And truly, some dialers are not as good as the other ones. And some real estate wholesaling guys, they'll promote one dialer over the other because you can make more money on it. And all the dialers I mentioned are actually below. So you can actually go in there and really use them. But really, whatever I promote or look at it, it's something I use in my business, and I don't want to push anyone to buy it. So if you ask this question in a Facebook group, someone's going to throw in a link and go, do it here because I'll get paid from it. Honestly, do what makes you the most comfortable and what you see in this video, because one dialer that might work really well for my business might not be the best taste for you in your business. So let's review all the dialers right now. So the number 1, probably most used dialer out there, and this is the one that most real estate wholesalers use, but they usually don't like talking about this, is Google Voice. So Google Voice basically is a free, more like a call rail or a Vumper type thing. You get a free phone number and you can do your zip code on there. You can have a voicemail, you can text from there, and really it's probably the best one out there if you have no money. Now, you don't want to use your physical phone for it. You want to separate things so you can track some of your calls and KPIs, but really if you're dialing and you have no money, Google Voice is absolutely the best one. So really, when you're wholesaling real estate, again, the skip tracing is one of the most important parts out there. So if you're really new out there, most people use Tree People Search because it's a free skip tracing service, but a lot of people use the paid ones too. And when I was broke as a joke, that's basically what I did. So I would pull all the county list, I would get my code violation list, my water shut off, my eviction list. I'd go to True People Search, I'll get the phone number out from there, and that's what I do. When I started making more money, I used other skip tracing services because my time was worth more. But overall, that's what I did. So I would actually put everything in an Excel spreadsheet, had the Google Voice set up, so I'd copy the phone number, I would paste the phone number into Google Voice, click, call, and then copy, paste. I'd have the notes on the other side of the Excel. And that's really how I did it for a little bit till I started getting more money and I was able to actually pay for a dialer. So what is the difference between a free dialer and a paid dialer? So a paid dialer is like Mojo, ZenCall, CallTools, Batch Dialer. Those are actual dialers that will do some dialing for you. So you don't have to copy and paste in there. They'll actually auto dial for you. So for an example is Mojo. So Mojo does 3 dials at once versus 1. So if I'm doing Google Voice, I actually have to physically put the dial in there and it takes me forever. But what if someone has software where you could call 3 phone numbers, you don't do anything, it actually automatically pops in from an Excel, it'll start calling 3 at a time, and whoever answers it, you get in there. So you're constantly on the phone, constantly making money and constantly having conversations. And really, qualifying sellers. So doing 3 versus 1, you get 3 times as productive as really most real estate wholesaling guys doing Google Voice. So that's why paying for it, once you start getting some money, it's really important. So you got the Google Voice there, and then you got Mojo. So like I've said before, it's a 3-line dialer, costs around $149 per month. Sometimes you got to pay for extra phone numbers, but from there, you can actually call 3 at a time, and it's pretty good. And that's what I actually used when I started out, because there's no ZenCalls or anything like that. Really, it was Mojo, and basically that was it. So I do like a Mojo dialer. That's where I made hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate profits cold calling, but there is some better services out there in my opinion. So what is better than 3? Think about that for a second. What's greater than 3? 4. What's greater than 4? 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So really the next one up on Mojo, in my opinion, is CallTools. So CallTools is a 10-line dialer. So you can call 10 people at a time, and that'll actually make you even more productive. So I think a lot of stuff over 10's a little overkill. And there's some dialers that go all the way up to 12. But I think 10's probably pretty comfortable. I mean, at 10, you're basically maxing out where you're always on the phone having conversations, which is probably what you actually want. So CallTools is really good. That is around $100 to $150 per month. It's a pretty good service. And a lot of these services, they get the same job done. It's like going to Home Depot. Should I buy a Home Depot hammer or a Lowe's hammer? Like they're both the same tool. And really, there's such a minute differences between them. It's really not the craziest. So CallTools is really good. I know people that swear by it. They have really good call tracking software. And then the next one is ZenCall. So it's not a 10-line dialer. ZenCall is a 12-line dialer, and that's really pushing the limits. You're actually starting to get 2 people on the phone at once, and it's a little crazier, but ZenCall is probably the most advanced one out there, and ZenCall is $150 a month. If you can get a theme, they're usually all $150 a month. Some are $139, like Batch Dialer, but really, ZenCall, in my opinion, is the most fanciest one out there. It's not the most user-friendly, so it doesn't look as pretty as the other dialers out there, but it really gets the job done. It does take a little bit of training to really understand that dialer, but if you can get 12 lines going at the same time, it's absolutely killer if you have the leads for it. So that's another thing you really got to understand is when you're using Google Voice, if you only have 1,000 leads, there's really no point of buying a ZenCall, CallTools, or Batch Dialer. And it's really not worth it. But now we got, let's say, 30 to 40,000 skip trace phone numbers. Again, when you're getting those leads, you're probably gonna have to pay for the skip tracing. So when you start paying for the cold calling, maybe you've got VAs going and you want them as efficient as possible, because when you're paying for a VA, you want their time to be used as effectively and efficiently as possible. So using a 1-line dialer is not gonna be the best when hiring a VA. So I recommend if you're probably over 30,000 phone numbers, it's better to buy and pay for a dialing service. So they got the call tracking and they got the call recording. So I can actually record and hear what my VAs are saying and how effective they're being. And the VAs know they're recorded, so they're a lot more efficient. So that's why I like ZenCall a lot. They got a lot of agents and there's really a lot of cool call flows that they got in there. So they got some queues and some great voicemail features on there. So ZenCall isn't the most user-friendly. It's a little raw when you're actually going in there. There's a lot of buttons. It doesn't look all smooth. But again, on the opposite end of that, it's like a batch dialer. So batch dialer also, like most of them, you can do the call recording. It's got some interesting voicemail features on there. So overall, I think batch dialer is a really good one too. But really, it's so hard for me to make a decision which one's the best. The details are so minute and different. It's really what you're trying to get out of it. So no, I don't think Mojo is the best one out there. I think it's really a decision you personally need to make. Go on YouTube, look at the demos on all of them. But it really, in my opinion, if you have tens of thousands of phone numbers, you got to get called and you got VAs. I think there's no choice but to choose from CallTools, ZenCall, and Batch Dialer. Really, the differences are so small. It comes to a personal preference and seeing what your VAs are comfortable with too. So overall, guys, you need to understand if you have a big enough amount of phone numbers out there, you definitely need to be paying for it. It's so much easier to use a triple, 10 or 12-line dialer than just doing the one-off dialing. But sometimes you got to do the physical cold calling yourself on Google Voice if you're starting out, and there's no shame in that. So really start doing the Google Voice if you're absolutely new at this business and start getting better and better and better at it. And then you can start paying for it once you start getting some deals in. So really, guys, that is it. That is the biggest difference between all these dialing services. I wish I had these tools when I was starting out, especially as a beginner in real estate wholesaling, especially with the cold calling. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video and really just hearing me talk about these dialing services. So again, all the links are below for the dialing. I'm not really making a penny off any of those ones, but really just trying to help you as much and becoming as educated as possible in real estate wholesaling. So if you're interested in dialing, go to the links below. But also, at the end of this video, there's going to be some videos talking about cold calling. And if you're really trying to get better at cold calling, I got a million videos on there. So check it out. It'll be on the end screen here. They should pop up somewhere around here real soon. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a blessed day.